How about dynamic forms?
Yeah, so dynamic forms this is one of the big complexities that differentiates our system from others, in that you look at other e-sign type kind of electronic signature type processes, and you typically have forms that you upload and you just get a signature on them. But those forms, it's difficult for them to grow. For example, you have multiple things that you sell, or maybe you need multiple forms, like you have three pieces of something that you're selling, and you need to have three different warranty forms or three different type of registration forms. Our system all grows dynamically in that it senses that there's multiple records and will create those multiple forms accordingly and require that you fill those things out.
We now have all the data in there. It's been refreshed. We're ready to sign or print the deal. Tell us about this part of the process.
Yeah, so once you go in and do a quote unquote print, this is where you can get to the point of collecting the electronic signature, or you have the option to download it. And there's a lot of flexibility with inside of here. We can have it set up to default with certain items or certain forms turned on or turned off. You can set other defaults too about what gets sent to a customer versus what gets sent internally. Or if you just are trying to reprint or do things manually, you can go in and uncheck or check those forms, reorder them in any way that you want. But there's always default values or processes around this to make it easy so people don't mess up what they're supposed to do here, or send the wrong forms to the wrong place. We also have a nice preview feature in here, which is, again, dynamically building those forms right on the fly and creating them so you can get a quick preview of it and see what's going on, see if there's any adjustments that need to be made to it from here. We can also do some other things like automatically save versions of it and things like that when people want, if they want to make sure that there's always a particular version of it saved every time they do a print or an e-sign. But pretty much it will create what they need right out of the gate in the order in which they need it. And then they can move straight into capturing the signature or downloading a PDF that they can print from there.
Are there rules that you can set up for signatures?
Yeah, so every organization seems to have slightly different rules. Like maybe they want the email to be specifically the email that's on the PO because legally they need them to match up. Or they may have additional signers that they want to make sure are captured inside of here. I'd say one of the most common ones and legally required from an e-sign perspective is that the individual signing it needs to sign it. There's more often than not, organizations are having the salesperson sign it as well as the client or the customer. But then at the end of that, you need verification. And one of the ways in which you get that verification is a copy is sent to those email addresses that helps make that signature legally binding. And so that's all part of our process, and an email engine inside of here that can be configured to not only distribute that stuff for the verifications, but also distribute it internally wherever it needs to go. If you need, for example, to send it to your group who settles and does the invoicing, it can go there in a particular order, and you can have different types of documents. There's even complex configurable rules inside of here to send blank copies of things if you want, because some things may require wet signatures. You know, some states require things where you have to sign something, and so we'll capture an e-sign of it, but then additionally, maybe create the blank document for them to do a wet signature of it as well. Lots of different rules like that can be applied. So you could have documents, for example, going to your invoicing and settlement group, also to your customer, but then maybe there's one page or something inside of here that needs to go to somebody else in a different department. Well, you can send that individual particular form off to those people for them to start their process as well.
And so it sounds like you get multiple versions depending on what your needs are.
Exactly. Yeah, you have the ability to have however many versions you want and whatever you want, so that you can ideally consolidate it down so they only get the form that they want. The last thing you want to do is send 20 pages to somebody who only needs one or needs two of those documents.